the last day of January 2021, which makes it Sunday the 31st. We are 1 week away from Super Bowl 55. I am your host for today's Mike Said It First on 12 Ounce Sports. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis. If you are not listening, if you're not watching on Facebook and you're just watching locally, this does not apply to you. For those that are watching on Twitter and YouTube, 12ounce_Mike is where you want to be to engage with the show. That's 12OZ_MIKE. Also, hashtag 12ounce_Mike for other discussions as well. On today's action-packed episode, Tom Brady, I have another take on what calling Tom Brady the GOAT, what that would mean in basketball. I'll take a look at that. Also, Matthew Stafford was traded to the Rams in exchange for Jared Goff and quite some more other pieces. We'll talk about that. Who are the NBA All-Stars so far after a great night of basketball last night? Also, an interview with Chris Mancuso of Tarpsoft Sports, one of the newest members of 12 Ounce Sports. I have a 26-minute interview I cannot wait to talk to you about. And also, what are the issues that Major League Baseball faces? Is it really baseball that sucks or just the league itself? We'll talk about that as well. First, a word from MyBookie and 12ouncesportsnetwork.com/Amazon. This is Mike Said It First. You're not going anywhere.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
At Amazon, we're pretty good at getting things done. We're pretty good at solving problems. COVID-19 is the biggest challenge we've had to face. The challenges are what motivate us. Like flying masks to our employees around the world. We're doing everything we can to get you what you need, and doing everything we can to keep our people safe. I'm former Navy pilot Sarah Rhodes, and I'm proud to lead our Amazon Air network.
Once again, this is Mike Said It First on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV Channel 761. Our first topic we're going to get to is Tom Brady relates to Shaquille O'Neal. Before you go blow my head off virtually, please bear with me. Our show is being brought to you by MyBookie.ag. The Super Bowl is next week. Why not get in on the action early with some of those early lines and player props? But when you sign up, use promo code 12OunceSports. That's promo code 12OZSports, all caps, no spaces, for up to a $1,000 first deposit bonus. No one does it like MyBookie and 12 Ounce Sports. Also, 12ouncesportsradio.com/Amazon. Use an affiliate link. Help guys like us out. Still get your Amazon stuff. Costs you nothing. Takes you no extra time. 12ouncesportsradio.com/Amazon. Okay, so I made a tweet earlier that had a few responses. I said, saying Tom Brady is the GOAT is just like saying blank. Now, when you're saying, like, what does Shaq have to do with this? And the analogy I'm about to make may turn a lot of you the wrong direction. And I apologize to nobody because I don't care. Saying Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback ever is like saying Shaquille O'Neal is the best shooter ever in basketball. Now again, hear me out. What does Shaquille O'Neal do throughout his entire career in the NBA? Shaquille O'Neal does something very interesting. He has an advantage when he's like 7'1" or 2. He is like 300 pounds. He backs down the guy under the post, under the rim, and he dunks it home. He can hit the occasional free throw, but he mainly dunks the ball or lays it up or catches an alley-oop, right? What did Tom Brady do for years until this year? Tom Brady threw the ball very short to a lot of no-name guys. One of the things that gets talked about a lot is Tom Brady didn't have anybody to throw to, which is complete and utter narrative media garbage lie. That is a lie. Julian Edelman won the Super Bowl MVP not because he was talented, because he's like Cole Beasley. He catches the ball 5 yards at the most past the line of scrimmage, sometimes 5 yards behind. But because there's so much blocking, Tom Brady just hits the guy in stride on the screen, and the guy goes yard. But Tom Brady gets credit for a 50-yard touchdown pass. Let's say you're at the 50-yard line, and Tom Brady throws the ball to about the 2-yard line, about the 48 of the opposite territory, right? Julian Edelman, or this year, Scotty Miller, breaks tackles and runs. What does that pass look like? Oh, a 50-yard touchdown. Now, I know what you're all thinking now. Well, Mike, goodness gracious, he threw the ball deep so many times. Well, Shaquille O'Neal could also hit the occasional free throw. It's not saying Shaq could not hit a free throw, but his bread and butter was attacking guys the easy way, which is the way he was set up to do. It's not a knock on their greatness, but the point is, Shaquille O'Neal had it kind of easy. Tom Brady has had it kind of easy. I keep asking people, what does he do that does not involve you being a psychiatrist? What does he do that's so much more impressive? I've heard winning. I've heard leadership. I've heard just all these different things. I'm like, again, I'll ask you, what does he do on a football field? Like, winning doesn't, I don't care about winning, that part, because that's the end result. I'm talking about in between the lines, what does Tom Brady do that nobody else does? Nothing. He does nothing better. Without being a psychiatrist, you could not tell me what Tom Brady does better than anyone else in NFL history. Now, well, is he a Hall of Famer? Yes. Is he a 6-time champion? Absolutely. Has he benefited from quite a bit? That's true as well. I give credit to Tom Brady for one thing, his preparation. And that could be me being a little psychiatrist for like saying, oh, well, there's nothing talented about that, but he puts in the work. But people mistake that to mean that he's the greatest quarterback ever. Do we really think that if Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, all these guys, do we really think they would have only won 2, 3 Super Bowls? Like, to me, if you think that, then you have no idea what you're talking about. Tom Brady is like Shaquille O'Neal in the NBA. Tom Brady has a lot of stuff given to him. He makes it work. But he's just like Shaquille O'Neal. And yes, he'll hit the occasional free throw, or should I say deep pass. But folks, if Tom Brady craps the bed again in the Super Bowl, I don't even care if they win. I said it last week, Aaron Rodgers outplayed him. Individually, Aaron Rodgers outplayed him. Did the Buccaneers outplay the Packers? Yes. Did Tom Brady outplay Aaron Rodgers? No. Blockbuster trade in the National Football League. And these things, let's be fair, do not happen a lot. So I'm going to talk about this in a very hype kind of way, because it's really been awesome, actually. So, Jared Goff, we all know, I've said before the season actually, that the Rams had to choose between Jared Goff and Sean McVay. I said, if the Rams make the playoffs, is it because Sean McVay coached a great season, or is it because Jared Goff was kind of along for the ride, or was Jared Goff sensational? Well, I think we can all agree Jared Goff was once again underwhelming. Remember when the Rams picked Jared Goff number 1 overall? There wasn't much speculation because nobody really, people talked about Goff being number 1, but I don't remember some big time, Dwayne Haskins hype or Kyler Murray hype. I don't remember the hype machine behind him. He was in a good system, and this year he had a good defense. So the Rams sent Jared Goff, the former number 1 overall pick from like 5 years ago, 2 first-round draft picks and a third-round draft pick in exchange for what's left of Matthew Stafford. Granted, Matthew Stafford had a very good season last year. He was awesome. As a Colts fan, I'm not very happy the Rams pulled this off, but I also am very happy in the sense that we didn't have to give up that much. Let's be fair. Did you get Matthew Stafford? Absolutely. Was it too much to pay? Yes. For the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to have Matthew Stafford. And listen, that's fantastic, but your future, the next 10 years are in question still. I know in football, that's obviously the next 10 years are in question, but let's be real. You not only traded away your quarterback cost you a number 1 draft pick. This was the Rams telling the National Football League, we drafted a bust. That's what this is. The fact it feels like the Lions, like whatever the conversation was like between the two teams, I feel like the Lions did not ask for this. I feel like the Rams offered it first, and the Lions were like, yep, that's it. 2 first-round picks, an average quarterback, and a third-round pick? Oh, yeah, please. I don't feel like that conversation lasted very long. Like, my guy, Peyton Manning, it took them 16 seconds to realize he was a Hall of Famer, which means it was already just like that. This was pretty easy as well. If a team calls you up and says, hey, we'll send you a former number 1 overall pick who doesn't have an injury history, we'll send you 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick for your quarterback. Oh, please, goodbye. See ya. Like, seriously. Now, does this set the market for Deshaun Watson? I'm not sure. I feel like the Rams gave up quite a bit. And again, it's not just the fact that the Rams gave up the draft picks and Jared Goff. It's the fact that Jared Goff was a former number 1 overall pick. And the contract was huge too. So, I feel like a team could offer 2 first-round picks and a third and a fourth. I don't see a quarterback and 2 first-round picks. Like, people are throwing out the narrative of Tua. I haven't heard anything from the Dolphins about Tua. I don't know why people are paying that. The Jets, unless they really want Deshaun Watson, Zach Wilson looks pretty promising. In a couple of weeks after the Super Bowl, I will definitely talk about the next generation of quarterbacks. But, what do the Jets have to give up to get Deshaun Watson? Second, the number 2 pick. Probably next year, first-round pick. Probably a good player like Quentin Williams. Is it worth it? I'm not saying Deshaun Watson doesn't make you automatically better. I'm saying, how long are you looking into the future for your franchise? That's all I'm asking. Because I'm not sure what teams are talking about here. Again, I understand what's going on, but in the end, is it worth what's going to happen to your team? Will the Jets really want to do that? I don't know if they will. Like, people talk about the Giants giving up Daniel Jones and Saquon and first rounder. I'm like, didn't they draft Jones top 10? And didn't Saquon get drafted top 10? And that's a lot to ask for a quarterback. Now, Deshaun Watson is a lot younger. Deshaun Watson is a lot younger than Matthew Stafford, and understood about that. But right now, I don't know how much more I would give up. I'll give like 2 or 3 first rounders for Deshaun Watson, but not some other awesome player. No, sir. So what does this do now for both the Rams and the Lions? Let's be fair about this. As a person who has no dog in either fight, in either of these teams, I believe Matthew Stafford to this Rams team, give them a solid. I know Henderson had a good year. I know Cam. Okay, actually, no, they don't have Cam Akers. I just realized that. Give them one more wide receiver. I don't know if you have to have a number one, but give them a wide receiver that's like even a Will Fuller. Like, he's not a clear number one, although he's showing flashes. But if you could pair, Matthew Stafford with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods and a guy like Will Fuller, if he stays healthy, for crying in the sake, and Cam Akers, and that defense, I think Rams became automatically, I'm going to say, title contender. I really do. As a guy who grew up watching Georgia football, I was not sold on Matthew Stafford early, but I blame a lot of that on Mark Richt, on the coaching that he did over there. Matthew Stafford has kept the Lions competitive for the last 10 years. And I compare Matthew Stafford to what the Atlanta Falcons had with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan made it to the Super Bowl. Falcons would have been bad the last 10 years had it not been for Matt Ryan. So Stafford to the Rams is amazing for the Rams. But again, they had just admitted to the league, we screwed up the draft. And I'm so proud of them for not moving on from Sean McVay. I'm so proud of them for realizing that Jared Goff was the problem. Because we can speculate, but sometimes teams have got, they've got some big egos. And it feels like for the Rams to admit this was awesome, and it shows that they want to win now. Congratulations to the Rams. As for the Lions, they have Dan Campbell. They have 3 new coordinators, including quarterback coach Mark Brunell. And that's about it. They have Jared Goff. So now you're kind of stuck. You're hoping that Jared Goff can do a little bit, but Jared Goff, to be fair, yeah, he might have played the Patriots, but Jared Goff, last time I checked, Jared Goff had a really awesome team around him, and the best he could do was score 3 points in the Super Bowl. I'm not sure the Lions gained by trading away Matthew Stafford. I mean, I get that you got to steal for a guy who might not even want to sign the next time he comes around. But I don't know, man. Lions, they got a lot of good stuff back. But Jared Goff in that contract still kills me, man. They're going to have to nail the draft for free agency in the next few years. And who wants to go to Detroit? I mean, I'm saying. We come back, we're talking NBA All-Stars. Stay tuned for Chris Mancuso, the interview. We'll be right back.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
At Amazon, we're pretty good at getting things done. We're pretty good at solving problems. COVID-19 is the biggest challenge we've had to face. But challenges are what motivate us. Like flying masks to our employees around the world. We're doing everything we can to get you what you need, and doing everything we can to keep our people safe. I'm former Navy pilot Sarah Rhodes, and I'm proud to lead our Amazon Air network.
Welcome back to Mike Said It First here on 12 Sports, Zingo TV channel 761, and Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter by way of 12 Sports streaming here. Again, if you'd like to get in on the talk and the action, really, at 12ounce_Mike on Twitter. That's 12OZ_MIKE. Also, hashtag 12ounce_Mike. And let's check some of that stuff real quick to see what's going on here. Let's see. Not really much to get into. There was a conversation under one of my tweets, but it was let's get into that for a minute. Where are we at here? This, according to the 12 Mike Twitter page. Really, actually, MKADHD Twitter page. I'm not seeing it right now, but basically somebody was saying, you know, Tom Brady is like, is the sky blue? Meaning Tom Brady's the greatest. You're funny. All this. Ian mentioned to me about at IANMCQ87 about whether or not who's the greatest and who's the best. And I'm like, to respond to that, I'll say the two should be the same. If you're the greatest, you should also be the best. I don't care about most accomplished. Stop that. Like, that just means you can be the GOAT. And to me, if you're not the greatest, if you're not the greatest at what you do, if you're not the best talented, why are you? I still kind of don't understand that crap. I'm trying to wrap my mind around that. Okay, so NBA All-Star 2021, after a wild night in the National Basketball Association, let's get to our Western Conference guards, because I kind of did one of these earlier, but I didn't really promote it or publicize it, should I say. A lot of people are putting Steph Curry in that mix. And let's talk about who really is the best right now, okay? So Steph Curry, 28 points, 6 assists, 5. That's cool. Damian Lillard, 29 points, 7 assists, and about the same amount of rebounds. Luka Doncic, 27 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds. So it is not Steph Curry. It is Damian Lillard and Luka Doncic for the backcourt. And I'm not just talking about stats. Steph Curry's been really good this year. But until Draymond Green started running point guard, I didn't really see much of Steph. Like, Steph had a couple of good games, but now granted, Steph will get the nod. Steph will get the nod over Dame. I'm not going to disagree with that because fans are stupid. But Dame deserves it more. In the front court, it's got to be LeBron. He's stuffing the stats. It's got to be Jokic. He's doing the same thing. And I'll choose Paul George over I'll choose Paul George over Kawhi Leonard. I can say Anthony Davis, but Paul George averaging 24 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. That's awesome. Anthony Davis should not get in just because he's on the Lakers. That's just stupid. Now, he will get in, but he shouldn't. It should be Paul George. Eastern Conference, Bradley Beal. I'm going to save this for Tuesday, but for right now, I want to be very cautious. I want to tell people to be cautious here. Are you putting in Bradley Beal because he's scoring a bunch of points? 34 points is awesome. But when you're losing, they're not just losing, they're being blown to bits. Like, there are so many players that can win with not a lot around them. And Bradley Beal is being put in that conversation. So, yeah, 34, 35 points a game is awesome, but at what cost to your team? Come on now, dude. But, yeah, I'll say he's an all-star. We also have Colin Sexton, who's been awesome. He could get a nod. Russell Westbrook could get a nod, but he hasn't played much. James Harden. I would go James Harden, Bradley Beal. That would be my backcourt. James Harden is averaging 11 assists and 24 points. He's been awesome. As for the front court, the most points has been Kevin Durant. I think he should be in there. I think Joel Embiid should be in there. And I think that Giannis Antetokounmpo should be in there as well. That's pretty much it for that. People like to put in Sabonis and Randall, but they're not comparing to the other players. I don't understand why you would. Because their team's playing well, that's team success. Like, those guys being performing great individually doesn't mean they're being better than Kevin Durant, KD, and Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Joel Embiid. So my All-Stars once again are as follows. In the West, Luka, Damian Lillard, LeBron, Jokic, and Paul George. In the East, Bradley Beal, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And so that's pretty much it for that. So I'm going to go ahead and post this on Twitter right now. No, you cannot send me messages, and I'm not a robot. Thank you so much. I love that stuff. They're also doing this little thing where you can there's a couple of days where your vote counts twice. They call it 2-for-1 All-Star, which is kind of cool. So there you go. So when I come back, I'm gonna air the interview of Chris Mancuso from TarpSoft Sports. So here we go. Thanks guys so much for watching, and after that we'll talk Major League Baseball. It's TarpSoft Sports, you idiots. Hailing from the Mancuso, Chris Mancuso. What is up, dude?
What's happening, Mike? Thanks for having me. It's TarpSoft Sports, you idiots. That's right. What's happening, buddy? Looking good. Are you? It's Sunday. I'm guessing those are a little, it's nice. You can do the show close and then right into church, buddy. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. So when we air this, by the way, guys, it is actually Sunday. Usually my interviews will be aired on Thursday. This is actually Sunday. So in a few hours, the show starts live.
There we go.
But here we go.
We're not too far behind then.
Heck no. We're on TarpSoft Sports time zone. Okay. So explain TarpSoft Sports to the people that don't know, especially for our 12-on sports listeners. How'd that start, and what's the goal, and how's everything going right now?
I started in this just probably the same as you, Mike. Just wanted to, maybe write something. I started doing a little bit of writing, and at the same time, I started a podcast with a friend, just a hockey one, to see what happened. And, as anybody in this industry, there's like stepping stones, right? So you kind of go up. I was with Full Press Coverage for a little bit, went up, and then there's a bigger blog site here in Canada. It's actually Canada's biggest blog site, DeanBlundell.com. I went over there because they liked my content. I did a year there. It was great. But you know what? In this industry, it's like there's not a ton for, when you have these organizational makeups where there's like, 50, 60, 70 bloggers underneath. Like at the end of the day, you're never going to make anything out of that. And for me, I was like, I want to put something together that's small, but also profitable, and it also can help other people that I like in the industry actually make money instead of, I'm not saying these other sites are pyramid schemes, but like they always want to post your podcast for you, this, that, and the other, Mike. And the reason why they do that is because they use the same ad account. It all adds up. And it's like, you know what? I just wanted to build something where me and a group of misfit toys could just put our own stuff out there and do it in a way that is like open in the way that they want to do it. I never tell my guys, we only have 3 rules: no racism, no misogyny, and like no sexism. Other than that, though, like walk the line as much as you want.
There you go. One of the things I like about 12-on sports personally is that we don't care what the national media says.
Yes.
It's like, there comes a point where Tom Brady being the greatest player of all time gets kind of old.
Exactly. It's like, man, look at all the other great things that are happening in the sport and other great players coming out. And it seems like the national media only wants to talk about certain subjects and certain people. And you got to remember, those people are actually usually pretty knowledgeable, but it's the suits at the top telling them what to say and points to hit. We did our Tarps Off MMA live show during the McGregor fight, and Robin
Yeah.
Black came by, and Robin Black was on the Fight Network. He's on TSN here in Canada. He works for Bellator. And he said that too. He's like, remember, some of these guys, you got to remember, aren't actually thinking what they have to say on TV. So,
Yep.
like, that's what I like about what we do and what you guys do at 12 ounce. It's like, it's authentic. It's what we
Yeah.
actually think and feel. Where the other places, ESPNs and the athletics and places of the world, they're kind of pushing, I'm not saying an agenda, but sort of an agenda where we're not doing that. We're just here. I do this for fun first. You know what I
Yep.
mean? If we make a little money along the way, we make a little money along the way. But I've made some great friends in hockey. I've made some great friends in fighting, and
Yep.
it's unbelievable, man. So, you know what? Kind of like what you guys are doing at 12 ounce, same thing. I don't care what anybody in the national media thinks about us. And I'm sure you saw last week, we like those same people fighting with Barstool Sports are the same people that
Oh,
have been
yeah.
fighting with us since August and trying to, message people and sponsors and stuff like that of ours since August. So like I was very happy to see that happen to them, because that's a much bigger platform than us for those people to get rolled under.
I know you've had your run-ins with social media, with people coming after you. They just people are fed certain things from the media. Like I said before, like I'll go to one of my hot takes is Dwayne Haskins was not as good as Daniel Jones. I was blasted. Blasted. How
Oh,
dare
yeah.
I think otherwise?
No, exactly. And they're probably like, and then people will insinuate, like, you're like looking at them as a football player, which, yeah, like you look at Daniel Jones, you look at Haskins, Jones is going to be the better player. But in today's political climate, whichever way the political winds are blowing, all of a sudden it's probably like, well, Mike, are you racist for saying that about Haskins? And it's like, no, you idiots. Like, that's why I started Tarps Off Sports. Like, I just can't stand these people. It's like, nobody thinks that. None of us here are racist. But like, Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Haskins. He's in Pittsburgh now, and it's probably going to fail there too. He'll be a backup. He's got a bad attitude. He's got a shit attitude. It doesn't matter what color he is or where he played before. His attitude stinks.
My problem with the Haskins thing, I noticed in the media, because they liked him at first, you notice how it became, because I believe he still cannot throw a football. So I believe that they use strip club as an excuse as to why he can't. Like, if you look at the way that went down, he was god awful as a quarterback. How many guys are going to the strip club during quarantine not got released?
Right?
So why is that his problem? No, he couldn't throw, and he's got a strip club problem, so they let him go.
Yeah, exactly. I
Like-
think it was a football problem first. I mean, if he was an NFL superstar or whatever, they would have just given you,
Exactly.
we're going to handle it internally, and he never would have gotten in trouble or whatever.
Exactly.
They got a little slap on the wrist. But yeah, you can't act like you're the number one superstar when you're putting up garbage numbers. And that's
Oh, he
what
was
happened
awful.
to Haskins. And that's what happened to Haskins. He was walking around acting like he was Peyton Manning, performing like he was Chad Henne. Like,
Yes, sir. And that's a disrespect to Chad Henne. if we're
yeah,
being fair.
I know. I don't want to disrespect Chad, but like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not a big Haskins guy either. So like, if I would have been kicking around then, like, and known you, I would have defended you on that too. I thought Daniel Jones is the better quarterback as well.
It's good to have Tarps on 12 ounce because I believe context matters in sports. I know it's hard to swallow for a lot of people, but it matters so much. Like,
It's everything, and it's like they've developed this new national media strategy that just like throws out context. Like, it's like they don't want to hear it. It's just whatever the way that you said it, and we're going to interpret it is what you said. And it's like, no, that's not how that shit works. That's why I appreciate you guys at 12
It's
ounce, because like these people are always looking to start something with everybody, and like they always want to be upset.
Yep. ESPN. It's funny that you mentioned that because ESPN has this little narrative they push, and it's like, oh, you didn't watch the game. It's okay. We know you didn't, but we're going to tell you what happened, so you can go on Twitter and bully other people because you both don't know what happened. Like, just watch it, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Just watch the games and you'll understand. But again, it's a narrative, and it's pushed from people at the top in these sports media companies. And that's, again, bringing it back to Tarps Off. That's why we made it. It's like, man, people tell me all the time, like in hockey, like people that are working in hockey and doing stuff, they're like, Chris, just play the game, brother. Just play the game. Like, don't worry about it. You get too stressed out. And then I see the hockey news puts out a top 100 most influential and powerful figures in hockey, top 100. They put Wayne Gretzky at number 83. The guy's an alcohol mogul. He's the number one ambassador to the game, best player to ever play the game. Money that you could never even imagine. Like this alcohol venture he does, like he's got wineries and stuff. Like just the lack of journalism and the lack of actually, people would rather just throw out a hot take and put Wayne and disrespect Wayne Gretzky at number 83 than put him at number 1, which is the obvious answer. It's just madness. I can't just conform and sit there when I see crazy stuff like that. It's impossible. It's not my nature. I can't do it.
I can't either. I believe in integrity, and to me, like one of the worst things I don't get insulted because when people insult me, I've been told I'm ugly. I've been told all kind of things. But when I'm told that you're not smart, that's one of the things I drive off of is my intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're told, oh, you don't know that what you're talking about, what do you mean I don't know?
No, and like that's what I mean. And it's like, who's telling you that you don't have the intelligence or you don't know this? A bunch of people who did their journalism school in like social studies. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I went to school for law. Like you're not gonna make me feel bad. Like these people always it's like they're just trying to be negative towards people trying to do it independently. And you know what? The tide is turning though on the internet and digital media, and the more that cable phases out and digital content grows, the more I think we're going to see a stop to this stuff. So that's why I'm here doing it.
Just ask Robin Hood how the internet feels.
Right? Exactly.
Dude,
man.
I was so I appreciate people that give good interviews, and Chris Cuomo, people like to talk crap about him.
Yeah.
He
did a great job.
What a brilliant job that dude did interviewing that Vlad, whatever the crap his name is.
Yeah, man. He basically just exposed him. And you know what? It's nice because I get it. Like, whether you liked Trump, hated Trump, I'm Canadian. It didn't matter to me. But what was annoying was nonstop Trump attacks, Trump this, because he made them. There would be situations where, yeah, he deserved it, but he made guys like Cuomo, who I really respect, like he made them unreasonable because like it became personal for them. This stock market thing was legitimately just journalism. And it's nice that he's gone because we're going to see it again. And he did a masterclass job. Like he ripped that Vlad guy. He just made him. He's like that. They wouldn't do it for that. Like, that's not how that works. I worked in finance. His brother.
I love when he said that. I was like, I love this dude.
Exactly how it works. And he's like, that's not why you did that. Like, he knows right off the top. He's like, you're a bullshitter. Essentially, it was perfect.
And the Vlad guy says the same 3 things over and over again. And Chris Cuomo's like, you know what? Like, nobody wants to hear that. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
no, exactly.
Points.
And Mike, did you see, talking about baseball and that, this all involved Mets owner Steve Cohen, and he was getting rolled on Twitter because of it, because his hedge fund or whatever is like the one that pressed Robin Hood to do that. And Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports was like calling him out. He deleted his Twitter account yesterday. So like, I wonder
Steve Cohen?
Yeah, Steve Cohen deleted his Twitter yesterday, man. He got knocked off the internet. Those people robbed everybody blind. And that's why I hope this is a message to everybody. It's like, it doesn't matter what your politics are, left, right, left. That shouldn't matter anymore. It's like, look at the people at the top that are pulling moves like that, making sure that everyday people don't get rich. That's where the real crimes are. And that Steve Cohen's a bum. I'm glad he's off there. And I hope the Mets don't win a game.
Whoa, they already don't do that anyways, Chris.
Exactly. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I was just going to say.
So, let's, like, Steve Cohen and all that Trump stuff. I don't think people realize, like, one of the biggest flaws in politics is that these politicians are left or right. That they care about up or down in terms of, do they have more money or less money?
Yeah.
I don't think, like, I've talked to people from like that lived in that, like, in the neighborhood of Trump, and it's like, they're like, this dude was never a Republican or anything. He was just like a businessman. Like,
yeah, no, exactly.
That's not just a signal on him. It's everybody.
Yeah,
they're all businessmen.
No, it's whoever pays you the most, man.
Yeah.
You'll say what you want. And that's what's wrong with that stuff, too. It's just like the media, too. Like, all these companies are pushed to say certain things, and everybody's got corporate sponsors, and the corporate sponsors have, people at the top that have their own opinions and stuff. Yep. And that's it, man. But no, I think that the internet is bringing a new age, and people are going to be able to stand up. I mean, when have people ever been smarter than now? We got technology at the touch of a finger. I know people all the time are like, oh, humanity's failing. and humanity's this. We've never been smarter. We've never been more intellectual. We've never had the technology to just pull up information on a snap. Like, what are you guys talking about? This is the greatest time to be alive ever. People need to stop being so negative. Like, I guess negativity sells, but hopefully just social media climate improves and positivity starts to become the thing that sells. Cause like, goddamn, as a people, we're advanced as hell now. Like, I remember, Mike, I don't know about you. I'm 30, but like in that span, I saw the internet happen. I saw VHS turn to DVD and DVD turn to Blu-ray. Like, shit happens fast, man. And it's cause we're smart as hell.
Right. We have more access to things. That's accessibility is huge.
Absolutely massive. Yep.
So let's talk sports because this is Mike said it first, and you're talking off sports. So let's talk about it. Let's do off the negative stuff. Let's talk about football, okay?
Oh yeah,
now,
Super Bowl next week.
Right. Today on my show, before this has been aired, I made a point that Tom Brady, as wonderful as as accomplished as he is, saying he's the best quarterback is like saying Shaquille O'Neal is the best shooter of all time.
Yeah, he's not.
The reason I say that, like anybody can go up to the rim and throw it in like this. Anybody can throw it behind the line of scrimmage, and their slot guy goes 55 yards. Now I understand people will say, "Well, you know, Mike, Tom Brady, he had played with nobody," because those nobodies were slot receivers who were running after the catch.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, I get it too. And it's like, again, everybody's got a narrative and a story that they want to make happen. And, you know, Tom Brady, 10th Super Bowl appearance, obviously it's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But to sit there and say that he's like better than Patrick Mahomes right now, that's crazy talk. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. And I certainly expect the KC Chiefs to win next week as well. I really think they're going to take it.
Hey, talks off sports with the pick.
Yeah. I think that this is Patrick Mahomes' time. I think Patrick Mahomes is probably going to end up with maybe 4 or 5 Super Bowls himself at the end of his career. And I think that this is a stepping stone for him, you know, kind of passing of the torch sort of game. Tom gets beat by Mahomes. That's how I see it going down. How do you see it going, Mike?
Well, first of all, I think Baby Mancuso is very excited about the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. He's fired up in the background here.
Baby Mancuso. So I believe, like, and I'm kind of going to make my official prediction, but I believe the Chiefs are going to win by about a touchdown, maybe 10 points. I don't think it's going to go over that. What I think is going to be huge for me, I don't want to come out of the game feeling like I did an NFC Championship game. If, let's say, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers find a way to win. Let's say Chiefs start slow and Buccaneers don't give it up, okay? And I'm okay with that. Am I going to have a sour taste knowing that we were screwed by a referee?
I hope not. The refereeing has been suspect, to say the least, heading through this playoffs. Certainly, I think hockey's actually been off to a worse start, though. But yeah, for football, I think that hopefully they just stay out of it and let these two teams play.
And my thing is, let them play, but don't call Kevin King interference late, because that'll disrespect everything you just did. And one of my biggest things with Kevin King was, you know, Kevin King, you're told your entire game you can pull and tug until that moment. Then how does it make Kevin King an idiot there?
No, it doesn't. They were letting stuff go all game. It was physical, hands-on football, and then all of a sudden the flag comes out, and it's just sickening. And listen, I don't want to say I saw it for 20 years with the New England Patriots, but I'm not saying Tom Brady gets special treatment, but it feels like the tide seems to go his way quite a lot in this league. Quite a lot it seems to go his way.
What's funny about that, I made the joke. This is actually I'm a Dollar General cashier, and a lot of people know that about me. But I said the reason it took the referees 10 seconds to throw the flag is he reached for his flag and he pulled out his wallet. I was like, oh shoot! So he pulled out his flag.
Yeah, it was the latest flag ever too. And like, man, I'm telling you, in the time, you know, with the AFC East and playing the Dolphins during the Tom Brady time were probably the second best team in the division. So there was always like some false hope teams in that. And every time you'd be in a close game late, there'd be some play like that. They'd start yelling at the refs, 10 seconds later, a flag come out. It's like, what are you talking about? I saw that. So yeah. And
I would have been okay actually if it would have been thrown immediately. But Ty Johnson flopping, like throwing himself to the floor when nothing happened. Oh,
yeah. It was like a soccer player.
Your little rag or whatever got pulled. Like nothing helped you miss that catch besides you.
No, exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm with you. I hope the refs stay out of it. I hope Brady and Mahomes are able to have the, greatest of all time versus the next one matchup that they deserve to have. And it's like, let's just get it going. We're 1 week out from Super Bowl week. It's going to be different, obviously, with no full capacity, not
There's
having
going to be a
it.
few fans.
There'll be a few.
There's
I know
like
it's
20,000.
it's
Which ain't
in
bad.
Tampa, which isn't bad. It's the biggest we've seen this season, right? So
Right,
that'll
right.
be good. It's in Tampa though, so like for Tom Brady to be playing a Super Bowl at home, like that's an advantage for them. And the Bucks haven't lost since they lost to KC. They've been on ever since KC beat them. They've been on a roll.
Exactly.
So, this is the second match. Both teams have the film on each other. They know how they're going to play each other. This is going to come down to coaching, and it's going to come down to execution. And Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes are the two best at executing their game plans, I think, in the league. So
I find, okay, so I'm going to say this because I think it's awesome. I feel like, well, let's talk about race for a minute because Eric Bieniemy is an offensive coordinator who's black, and he's been snubbed from head coaching jobs.
yeah,
I believe this game comes down to Eric Bieniemy versus Todd Bowles.
yep, I agree.
Like, I think Andy Reid and Bruce Arians are great. I'm a Colts fan, so I love Bruce Arians.
Yep.
But I will be very, I will make sure, because Tyreek Hill had like 200 yards in the first quarter in the first game.
Yeah.
That's all Todd Bowles.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Man, you're right about that. Sometimes it's like when you really break things down to their simplest form in football, like, yeah, the coaching matchup is massive and the coordinators play a huge role. And yeah, both sides, like, you better be ready to pitch the best game of your life because we saw what happened to LaFleur in Green Bay last week. I mean, he folded.
right.
As a coach, he folded. There was no reason to kick that field goal. Like, there was just a bunch of stuff that happened. Like, there was just no reason for any of that. You still needed the touchdown anyway. Like, to try to kick it from an 8-point game to a 5-point game when it's 4th and goal and you got Aaron Rodgers behind center. You don't put the ball in his hand there and let the defense start back. That made no sense.
It's almost like Benny Mancuso getting all the action. But
Oh yeah.
it's almost like it felt like he just didn't want to do the 2-point conversion because technically you're going to get a touchdown either way, but you're going to need 3 points to win or 2 points to tie. Maybe the field goal makes you not do a 2-point conversion, but you still need a touchdown. And why not just get it there?
Yeah, I don't understand. And it was like you could have played defense in a better position too.
Right.
Like that 8 points or 5 points made no difference at all. You still needed to score. Yes, you wouldn't have needed a 2-point conversion, but like you got Aaron Rodgers under center. A 2-point conversion is what, from the 2-yard line? Like, smack it in. Like, come on.
So let's talk about real quick. The Lions and Rams made a trade. Matthew Stafford, who I'm a Georgia resident, so I know all about Matthew Stafford. The dude got traded for like 2 first-rounders, a 3rd-rounder, and Jared Goff. How bad do you think the Rams feel of selecting Jared Goff number 1 overall now?
Yeah, that was a big mistake. Goff, they signed to that contract too, and it's like, you know what? It's good that they got him off the books, but what a price to pay for a guy who, how old Stafford, 33 or something like that?
I think
2
like,
first-round picks, a 3rd-round pick or a 2nd-round pick or something like that, and Goff, or a 3rd-round pick and Goff. It's pretty steep price, man. But you know what? I think McVay's offense. I think Stafford's going to have a really nice year next year. I think this makes the Rams better today.
yes.
I'm not a Goff guy, but now, again, 2 years from now, they're going to be searching for a quarterback.
Right. Yeah. According to our sports Twitter page, I'm not sure if this is true, but it's like 3 to 5 years left for Stafford. So but how many good years? Probably about 2 or 3.
Yeah, I would say two or three good years left before they got to, even next draft.
About it,
Yeah, and I mean now, like, they don't have a 1st-round pick until when? Like, I mean, 2023 or something like that. Right. So that's probably when they're going to have to look to the quarterback anyway. I like the move. I like. You got to take risks in this league, man, to make the next step. I think the Rams are close. They got a great defense. They have some good players there. Goff was holding them back. There's no question about it. I know people are high on him. People are whatever. Some people are low on him. But you know what? I think they're better off with Matthew Stafford. Yes, it was a steep price. I'm interested to see what the hell is Deshaun Watson going to get traded for.
Ooh.
That's going to be like the equivalent of 3 or 4 first-round picks at least, plus maybe a little bit extra. Like, if you're the Jets, maybe it's 3 first-round picks, and the Darno. If you're the Dolphins, maybe it's 3 first-round picks and Tua. Who knows?
Oh, I'm a Colts fan, and I wanted Stafford, but Lord have mercy. I don't know how much I want Watson now, because we're going to have to give up quite a haul for good old Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, this guy is one of the best pass, for as far as completion percentage goes for his career. He's number 1 all time. The guy doesn't miss. Put up a ton of touchdowns last year on a terrible Houston Texans team. All they've done is manipulate him, try to get the best players out of there. So, you know what? It's going to be really interesting to see the price on Deshaun and where it all goes.
One last thing before Baby Mancuso.
Before he flips his lid on me. He's got his hockey hair. He's grabbing it right now. He looks like he's ready to drop the gloves. 1 second, buddy. We're last question with Mike, and then we're good.
Right. Love it. Okay, so real quick. Baseball, I'm going to talk about this on my show as well. But in terms of you and me kind of found solidarity before the show started. We both were kind of Red Sox fans, and then sign stealing happened.
Yep.
How bad is the MLB?
It's a terrible league, man. I feel like there's always people trying to cheat, whether it be steroids, whether it be corked bats, whether it's sign stealing, whether it's like major sign stealing networks. I fell out of love with the game because of that. Like, I could handle the steroid era and stuff, like whatever. They're juicing. Like, I'm sure guys have been juicing. Steroids aren't new. They were around in the 70s and 80s. I'm sure it's been there. Whatever. But sign stealing and banging garbage cans and, having the Astros act like they were like one of these teams of like a dynasty, and then just to find out it was all fake. Like, come on, man.
And then accepting it.
Yeah. And then but the funny thing was they acted like it was everyone else's fault that they got caught. It was just, and the league let executives take the fall, and not one player got in trouble. Not one player. And Pete Rose is banned for life, and not one player on that team is banned.
A problem.
Insane problem.
And the last little side bit here before we head out is, I actually feel like, what was I going to say about baseball? There was no Hall of Famers this year.
Yes. How?
That's huge.
How is there no Hall of Famers? How is Curt Schilling not in the Hall of Fame? Why? Because he's like a hardcore gun-toting Republican? That guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Who cares? His politics have no bearing on how he threw the baseball. That's a shame on baseball. Curt Schilling should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. Agreed.
I don't care what politics he likes. I don't give a shit at all about that. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Do what's right. And you know what? If the Astros didn't get in trouble, let Pete Rose back in the league. Like, how long has he served his punishment for? Yeah.
For gambling.
He messed up. Yeah, you shouldn't be betting on games in the league. There's rules against that. But to still be banned while the Astros were allowed to let executives and coaches take the fall for the bus, even though they were right in on it, like they got thrown under the bus, it's a disgrace. And that's another reason why I fell out of love with the game. I wear baseball hats to match outfits now. That's the only reason. I used to watch them because I like teams. Now it's just like, I'll get them because it goes with the shirt you're wearing.
And watch baseball incorporate a Las Vegas team. Then Pete Rose feels completely screwed over.
Right, exactly. Once they put a baseball team in Las Vegas, hey, maybe they'll let him back in the league and he'll be running things. He'll be the head of gambling.
Oh, that'd be awesome. All right, guys. Chris Mancuso representing Tarpsoft Sports and Swan Sports. It's been a ride.
Great time, buddy. Anytime you need me, just let me know and I'll be here.
Thanks.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
At Amazon, we're pretty good at getting things done. We're pretty good at solving problems. COVID-19 is the biggest challenge we've had to face. But challenges are what motivate us. Like flying masks to our employees around the world. We're doing everything we can to get you what you need, and doing everything we can to keep our people safe. I'm former Navy pilot Sarah Rhodes, and I'm proud to lead our Amazon Air network.
Welcome back to Mike Said It First here on Talent Sports, the Zingo TV channel 761. 1 week away from the Super Bowl. We will see you then at noon Eastern live next Sunday, and also Tuesday night, 10 o'clock Eastern, our last show before that day. Let's get into an article read now. My latest article on Talent Sports, talentsportsnetwork.com/baseball-MLB. Baseball is an amazing sport. A wooden bat cracks a white leather ball with red threads. The ball simmers through the air and then bounces off the dirt into the leather glove of a charging athlete. The athlete gathers the ball in their glove, grabs the ball with their other bare hand, and throws a rocket to their teammate, who is waiting with one cleat on a white bag. The person who hit the ball has thrown their bat to the side. The bat harmlessly lands approximately 4 feet from the entrance of the dugout where their teammates reside. Time appears to slow down as the batter reaches what is known as first base. "You're out!" yells the grumbly voice of an umpire as the thrown ball smacks into the glove of the first baseman about 0.3 of a second before the runner's cleat stomps the bag. The dust settles, 1 out at the top of the first inning. While the next batter goes to the plate, TV broadcaster tells a story of how the pitcher survived numerous obstacles to the point of starting in Game 1 of a playoff matchup between two rivals that know each other all too well. 7 pitches later, the ball is out after he hit a ball to deep left field, only to fall into the glove of the left fielder. 2 outs in the third. I'll be 100% honest with my readers. That sounded fun. However, imagine what it sounds like in the 5th inning as the score is 2-1. Kind of boring, right? So let's go over 2 things why baseball sucks. In 2020, the United States was introduced to the Korean Baseball Organization. Not many saw it, but while Americans waited on their pastime to find a way to play amid a global pandemic, they could wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to see a game with English commentators. The best thing was it had a 12-inch pitch clock. I came across a Yahoo Sports article by Lindeer, however you say that last name, who said the fan, rather than tradition, comes first in the Major League Baseball. They also have cheating. I'm out of time. It's a fun article to read. I don't want to go crazy now because we have approximately 30 seconds before it gets out. Baseball is an amazing sport, but the MLB ruins it. They don't care that it's slow and boring. They don't care if you cheat, yet they wonder why the NBA and NFL succeed. Interesting. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out.